had a close encounter yesterday in their game. It was just 9 needed of the final over, and Freiling showed his class by delivering a maiden, and that's the action that we will bring you here on LMS 1. Jason Liebenberg and Darius du Plessis for the Rebels from Johannesburg up against Sheldon Mangru. Is he any relation to Kerwin Mangru who played for the Dolphins?
We'll have to find out, possibly. He looks like a useful player.
An exciting prospect there, really charging in. We have seen the surface liven up a little bit today. There was some overnight rain, just freshening up the surface. A little bit slow and too paced yesterday, but
the
definitely.
The rain wouldn't have hurt at all. And that's a sharp delivery there. Darius ducking under that one.
Mangru just keeping du Plessis honest there, showing him, do not think about walking down the wicket at me, I'll peg you back.
The Rebels are one of the favourites of this tournament. They've got good track record, but they're coming up against a new team, the Shofire Lions from Pietermaritzburg.
And that is the first boundary of the innings by du Plessis. The first moment it was in his part of the wicket, he immediately just latched onto it, and it's a straight down the ground for the first boundary of the morning.
Darius is not an attractive player, but he's got a fantastic eye. He's a scratch golfer, and you can see it there. If it's in his half, he's going to have a crack.
It's gone again, but this will be straight down to long off. And that's the end of the first over. A good one by Mangru, barring the boundary. And it's 6 runs off the first over here. And it looks like we will have Freiling coming into the attack now, the big man. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Does enjoy a change of pace. Bowls a variety of cutters. Whether
He's looking in good nick. He's obviously kept himself fit.
He looks in better shape than he was when he was a player, that's for sure.
So
down at the Dolphins. So retirement, at least professional retirement, treating Robbie Freiling well.
Treating him well. He's got a cricket academy with Darshan Naidu in Pietermaritzburg, and obviously passing on his vast knowledge to the youngsters coming through. And this is a good test for the batsman for the Rebels. Playing against the next Protea. This could be out. It's up in the air. He's got a bit of work to do. He's a bit late. He's put that down.
I thought he was just a bit on his heels there, was the fielder. He hung up in the air, and just a little bit more urge, he could have comfortably taken it, but the chance goes to begging.
I think so. I think he was on his heels there, and let's have a look at this replay.
One thing I really enjoyed about Freiling during his heyday, I thought he was a very clever cricketer. He assessed the conditions very well, and he, as we look at the chance that went to begging earlier.
Dot balls creeping in here, and then he's showing his class, Freiling.
Bjorn, but just the fact that you can draw a former Protea to this tournament adds a bit of luster, adds a bit of quality, doesn't it?
It's what an opportunity for guys in this team and playing against them. Amateur players don't get this very often, so that's what's quite special about the World Champs.
That is does just raise the profile. And it adds to the quality that you are watching on LMS 1, TV 1, wherever you are in the world. If you've just switched on now, that's a wide. You'll have to bowl that again. I think he's just asking Jason Liebenberg, you got quite a nerve to walk out here without a helmet and face me?
That is very brave. You wouldn't catch me doing that against Freiling. Did we come on with the helmet on? That's huge. That's huge.
That is an almighty hit. If you've heard that sound, that was the roof of where we're sitting, and that's exactly where Du Plessis has gone. He said, there is no respect in this game. We will be hitting you for 6. And that was a mighty strike by Darius Du Plessis.
Just a bit too close to Darius there, and he's got hold of that, and he hits a long ball.
And that's exactly where we're sitting. He targeted us, and it was directly what he was looking to achieve.
And that's really helped the Rebels, because they were in a bit of trouble there of the first 2 overs. A few dot balls creeping in, and then Robbie bowled that wide bouncer, and the extra balls cost him badly there. The score is now 17 without loss after 2 overs. Darius is on 14 off 9, and Jason Liebenberg's on 3 off 2 balls.
There's a change of bowling here for the Shofire Lions. It's the first time we'll see a bit of spin. It's Pinar Pace. He'll deliver his left armers. We've seen some fantastic left armers in the tournament thus far.
It's a good all-rounder. He also made a quick 50 yesterday for the Shofire Lions. That's a nice balanced team, this. It's a lovely shot into the covers. Should just be 1.
We have seen that pace of the ball is what has been effective thus far in the tournament. And Pace is bowling to a very short leg side boundary. And I'm sure Du Plessis will be eyeing it if he does miss his length in any way. And that's exactly what he attempted there. Just not making contact. But he will be looking to come towards our direction.
That's clever bowling, because you know Darius is trying to attack the short leg side boundary, and he's just pushed it a bit wide on the offside, and it's a bit short of a length. That's great stuff from the bowler. Oh, that's a great night as well.
Pace of the ball, the pace of the ball. That's the way to go in Cape Town. It's a good shot out in the deep. It's going to go. It does go, and it rolls all the way for a boundary by 6. The long on and long off, and the extra cover man on the fence, and that's another boundary to the Rebels.
It's the first one for Jason Liebenberg, and he'll enjoy that. That's probably been the shot of the day so far. Just rocked back on his back foot and elegantly played it through the covers there. Different style of batsman to Darius, who clobbers the ball, and that'll settle his nerves. He's now on 8 or 5 balls. That brings up the end of the over. It's 23 without loss.
I think it's been a positive start here by the Rebels. They've, whenever there's been anything to latch on, they have taken full advantage. It's Sheldon Mungrew. He'll come in for his second over. That should be another chance in the deep. It's the second one, and that's a great
Oh, he's put it down.
opportunity.
Great effort. I thought he had it there. He must have just bobbled out as he hit the ground.
The man at deep extra cover, he's been in the game. He had one earlier that fell short, and this one, it looked like he might pull it off. It was hanging in the air. He made good ground, and then even put in the dive, but when the elbows hit the ground, just couldn't hold on.
That was a good effort there. You can't fault him on that attempt.
Had he held on, would definitely have gone into one of the 10 moments of the day that you can see on all our social media platforms after the game.
Ooh, that rushed him, and that's going to be gone. Caught and bowled. I think he should have worn a helmet because Sheldon is quick. That is.
I think he's basically just setting himself up as a target, and that's exactly what Mungrew decided. He said, you don't want to come out and bat with the helmet, I'll push you back. And if the fields aren't going to take the catches, I'll take them off my own bowling. And that's exactly what Sheldon Mungrew has done. That's the first wicket for the Shofire Lions. That's the first wicket gone down as Liebenberg makes his way back to the pavilion. new batsman Murray Workman. I presume he's quite a workman-like batter.
He's one of my favorite batsmen to watch. He's only about 5'7". I know that because he's my height, but he's got very, very, very good hands. Plays it all around the ground, and it should be quite exciting to watch him. I think he'll enjoy the pace of Mangru. Should be a good battle here. He's definitely the best batsman for the Rebels. He's played 25 matches for them. He's got an average of 39, strike rate of 177. And when he bats well, the team does well, is what I've seen. And they won the SA Champs to qualify for the World Champs back in 2020. And that was thanks to him. Gets off the mark with an easy one there.
I think the Shofire Lions, they'd appreciate the wicket. Rebels were just getting away there for a moment. And that should just peg them back a little bit. The loss of Liebenberg.
Definitely, it's still very evenly balanced. And that's another one. He's quick. He is quick. That was too quick for Darius there.
Mangroves definitely has wheels, and he's showing it here. He went, he's showing all his skills. He went short with the first wicket, and this one was full and straight, and it hit the base of middle stump. And that is a second wicket for Mangru. Definitely seems to be one of the quicker bowlers we've seen on display thus far at LMS.
And Darius there just didn't get his feet to the ball, falling away. And against the class of Mangru there, you've got to have a better technique than that. He was thinking another one out the park again, but great delivery there. Great stuff by Sheldon Mangru. He's got 2 wickets now, just the 8 runs. Just what the Shofire Lions needed.
Definitely brought his side. That's what any captain wants. Mangru, he's definitely the talisman. He leads the attack, and he is reaping the rewards for his skipper here. As the 2 wickets, as we've seen within the first 4 overs, definitely sets the batting team on the back foot. And they will now have to rebuild through the likes of Workman and the new batter, Daniel Poulton.
Another good all-rounder for the Rebels. He's had a few stints playing overseas in London, in club as an overseas pro in the UK. Very experienced LMS player as well. Normally opens the batting for them, but they've obviously taken a chance with Darius up front to get them off to a good start. Hasn't been too bad. I mean, he's hit a couple boundaries there, Darius, but I think these are probably 2 of their best players coming in now at the crease. So a good battle on for both teams here from here on in. Could set the tone for the match.
It's interesting to see the Lions returning to Freilink. You think they'd possibly keep him back for the back end, but they realize this is where the game is won, right up front, and they're going to their big men. Mangru, he's delivered. Freilink not quite as much with his over, but the second one, they realize that to get your best bowlers up against the best batters from the opposition.
Always a tricky decision for the skipper, and whether you bowl your best bowlers up front or you save them for the death. But we've got Daniel Poulton, who's just come on. He's played 162 games of LMS. He's got an average of 67, so he can play.
I think that's definitely a fantastic record there by Daniel Poulton, but it's a different challenge here at the World Champs. He's got Sheldon Mangru who's running in here. He's got his wheels on, and he's got a Protea on the other end. So
the levels to this, and it'll be a good test for him.
And we'll see where he's really at. Daniel Poulton. Freilink just keeping it quiet at the moment.
And the Rebels had a very easy match yesterday. I think they put on over 200, so this is a different challenge. What a delivery there by Freilink. That's just for length there. Workman not moving his feet.
Swing and a miss from Workman as Freilich is he comes to the conclusion of his second over. Just one run conceded by Freilich.
Fantastic stuff. Good call by the skipper. Pressure really on Rebels now.
As we said, it's one thing to average 65 in your home leagues, but once you come to the World Champs, you're facing up to some of the best, and that's when you really test it and to really show your quality. Looks like it's been at a base. The left arm heel come back on. Would like to have seen Mangru just get one more over. If he breaks this partnership, I think then the Shofire lines would be right through. That's a good ball there by Pino Bass.
Another dot ball. That's 3 dot balls in a row there.
But I'm very much of the opinion that you win the game early. You try and get the best batters out, and then early doors, and then.
It depends on the other bowlers. I haven't seen Shofire lines, but if they've got other bowlers that can do the job at the death, then yeah, why not? Because base coming on the other end, I suppose maybe they're worried about the guys hitting with the wind, but it's a longer boundary. So that's all things to consider. The guys are hitting into the wind now, but it's a short boundary. So two new batters in.
My theory is always that if you do have... if you have well set batters at the end, that might be a problem. If you have new batters coming in at the back end, then the death bowlers do get away with a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, Rebels will bat all the way down to number 8. They've all played Premier League crickets in Johannesburg and the CGL leagues. They're experienced guys, but like we said earlier, Freilich and Mangru, different levels. Nice touch there from Workman, and that's played it from the crease there. Needs to get a better stride in. Those big levers of his.
Bass thought he was in business there, but the umpy not interested. But another good over there by Pino Bass. It's now 29 for 2 after 6, with Workman in particular Poulton, Daniel Poulton, not quite getting going as yet.
Needs to get a bit of bat on ball. Winner of this match will be pretty much guaranteed a spot in the last 16 where the action really hots up. So a lot on the line here.
This is when the lines will be tested. Is when the change bowlers do come on after the initial onslaught by Mangru and Freilich. Fahim Suleiman. But often this is when the wickets also do fall, as the batters feel that the intensity just drops off a little bit, and
I think they're going to take him on when
and they offer a couple of chances.
It happens so often, and that is a good shout.
Suleiman in the action early doors here. He thought he might have had a chance as we look at it. Ooh, I think Suleiman had more than a shout there.
That was a great shout. I think he rushed him for pace, and I don't think there was any bat involved, possibly, but
Suleiman showing here that the Lions lose nothing in quality here. He's gone full the first one and then just held his length back the second delivery.
So there's going to be no easy bowlers to attack and wait out an over here or there. They've got to score runs every over, and that's difficult. That's pressure. And we could see another wicket coming up here unless something changes.
That should be a couple there. Could even run away for a boundary. Third man coming across. Puts in the dive, and that's excellent fielding there by the third man. And he has saved a couple for his team.
Skipper will be happy with that effort in the deep there. Covered a lot of ground. He's at a very fine third man position. They've actually made him a bit straighter now. I think that's a better position to be at. Probably nick the next one for 4.
Just moving his extra cover boundary, a little bit more square as well. Possibly can go a little bit more fuller. That's exactly what he does. And that should just be one. And that's good cricket by the Lions. Made the change to the field, and he bowled according to his plan.
The skipper, I think, is Robbie Freilink actually. And yesterday, there's one of the top 10 moments where the spinner bases bowling, and he pulls in a slip, and the next ball was caught at slip.
That's experience there for you, Bjorn. Well bowled there once again by Suleiman. There are no freebies here for the Rebels.
Runs have dried up. It's 35 for 2 after 7 overs.
That's, I think the last boundary was the 6 up against the commentary box here.
Projected score just 100, and we've said the average total that the guys will be looking to is around 135, 145. I think 145 is probably a winning score, so they'll want to get that run rate up a bit and push on the second 10. It's catch 22, the first 10 heading to the short boundary, but it's against the wind. The wind doesn't seem too strong this morning compared to yesterday, so perhaps it's time to take on the spinner here. Oh, it's a great delivery, another dot ball there.
Pace with the ball, pace with the ball. That's unless you express like Mangru, the slower it does come at you, the harder it is for the batters. You can just see that fingers, the revs, really working on the ball there by Ace.
I think you've got to use your feet. You've got to use your feet a bit, get to the pitch of the ball.
I think it's tough for the Joburg teams when they do come into Cape Town. It's the ball does come onto the bat a lot easier up on the high veld, and this is where the slower.
It's definitely the best place to bat in the country. It's lovely
the
when the ball comes onto the bat.
And if you hit it, it just flies in the high veld air. Down here at the Cape, we work for our runs. And Bases, he's really showing Poulton that you can't just hit through the line here. Got to run hard here, mate. This is where you work for your runs. You've got to push it in and try and get back for the second.
Put the pressure on the fielders as well. Take it to them a bit. There was a bit lackadaisical that first run there. There's really no pressure on Shofire Lions at the moment. Something's got to change for these guys.
Workman pulling out the reverse sweep and not executing.
Very upright, very upright. Didn't bend his knees there. He's never going to hit it.
But again, once again, that's from the high veld. The ball bounces a little bit more. You don't need to get low. And definitely an examination of techniques here.
Must have got a bit of bat on that because there was no appeal from the bowler. I thought that looked quite straight, quite adjacent.
It's 36 for 2 after 8 overs. And at this stage, the Lions, they will feel that they're in charge. They are the ones that are bossing the game.
Well in charge. The run rate's dropped to 4.5 and over.
Suleiman again from the end. Should be a couple.
Should be easy too.
Been really impressed by the Lions. They haven't given anything away. Bar those couple of early strikes. They've been on the money. Very disciplined. I don't think there's been any extras either.
Just the one wide that got punished the next ball by Robbie Freilink when he tried to do the bouncer to Liebenberg. That's it. Very, very tidy bowling. I think we could have a new team that's putting their hands up as one of the tournament favorites here. It's the first time I've watched them play. Just the 22 games for Shofire Lions. They played 12, lost a few of them.
Suleiman gets it in again, and once again hits the hole. And it'll just be another single. If you look at Poulton, he's gone 9 of 16. Workman, he's gone 4 of 9. So the strike rate's not even close to 100% at the moment. So that's they are struggling. That should just be one. But the running could also just be a little bit more.
No pressure on the fielder. So if they're pushing hard, he's going to
He could fumble.
He could fumble and take his eye off it, and if it goes past, it's an easy second. But no pressure. Easy pickup for him. I think they've got to take their intensity a bit here. Maybe trying to play themselves in to push the next 10. It's a better shot. Up in the face
that could
there.
be two. That's the one. You've got to push the fielder. That's good running. The ball throws coming in. But that's wonderful running there by Poulton. That's what the Rebels need to do a little bit more often. You're not getting the boundary, so you've got to at least put the fields under pressure. Try and turn the ones into twos into threes, because that just creates a little bit of momentum into the innings.
It gives you that little confidence when you see you don't worry about the dot balls that come as much, when you can take advantage of that, and it gives you a little bit of momentum. And coming into the second 10, the momentum is all with Shofire Lions. Daniel Poulton on 11 off 17, Murray Workman 5 off 10. That is not a good strike rate at all. It's not pretty reading for the Rebels at the moment. Something's got to give here. Looking for that target of 130 minimum.
That's an edge, outside edge there. That could be for two-ish boundary, but no, he does come around. And he picks up a couple.
Thought he might have opened the face there.
I think you're being generous there. I think Base beat him in the flight, and he just got an outside edge there. But definitely still the Shofire Lions in control. The men in black and gold. That's more what we want to see.
Got to run hard here. They should be easy too.
That's what we want to see. We haven't seen much of it throughout the tournament. And I do think once you are sweeping and reverse, that's when the angles just open up of the field.
And you keep the skipper guessing, where does he put his fielders, and the bowler starts having to bowl different lines for different fields. It gets a bit harder.
Oh, that is exactly what we've been talking about. He's turned around and he's he's just switched, hit that. And that's what it does create. That shows the talent of Workman. He went the conventional sweep the ball before. On this occasion, he just swapped around and he got the boundary. I think that's the first boundary in about 8 overs for the Rebels.
Since that big 6.
Yes. So the Rebels are just finding their way a little bit now. And immediately Workman's up to a strike rate of 100%. That's the minimum where you've got to be in a 20-over game.
He's a key player now for the Rebels. The longer he stays in, the more we'll see of that. That was a lovely shot. That'll settle his nerves. He hit that very sweetly. It's a great shot.
I think that could definitely be the moment of the day. One of the 10 moments.
I think so. Fantastic moment there for Workman, but Base just comes up with a great delivery. Just held it back a bit there.
Base just looks one of those cricketers that he's played so many games. He just knows his game. And that could be a shot.
Beat some all ends up there. I think that's buys. Fantastic stuff from Base, and they scampered through for 2 there, but it's a good battle on here.
That is the end of the 10th over. It's 52 for 2. So the Rebels are just finding a little bit of momentum here towards the back end. And as we've said throughout the competition, once the team switch ends down to the avenues missed, that's when the bowlers become under a little bit of pressure. As we'll see how Workman and Poulton go about their business for the remaining 50 deliveries of the innings.
100% hitting. The batsman taking a quick water break as we change ends here. It is hot and muggy out there. Rain expected later today. But conditions are good for cricket, I would say.
If you look into the sky, you will never ever say that there's any rain on the way. But this is Cape Town. You can easily get 5 seasons today, let alone 4.
100%. We've been playing here the 2012 World Champs, and we've had sunshine, and within an hour, the field's been covered in paper.
I do know. I got to know Kerwin Mungru quite well down in his time with the Paul Rocks during the Mzansi Super League.
Yeah.
So he's up now in Northwest, though.
Yes, correct.
So
After the Dolphins.
yeah, obviously started down in Pietermaritzburg.
Yes, correct.
So He's done well for himself, really earned himself a good career.
He's a great guy. And
But
he's still got legs in him. He'll carry
but
on.
definitely impressed by his younger brother, Sheldon, that's for sure.
So Sheldon is more of an all-rounder. So he's an opening bat, opening bowler. Unusual to find. Great guy. Athlete in the field. So
That's what we want.
yeah, we've got a team here that I think nobody expected.
He's just coming in slowly under the cover.
Yeah, coming under the radar.
I think you're not going to be under the radar for much longer if you do get over the line against the Rebels from Johannesburg. They're one of the favorites in the tournament. So
see, I've always said if we come in as an underdog, we have nothing to lose. So we're playing with everything to win. Yeah.
no, I do like this. Dr. Naidu is just keeping it low profile here in Cape Town. And but his team is turning in some impressive performance. As you can see, there are no batter really getting a move on there. Poulton, he's 18 of 25. Workman, 17 of 24. So generally, you'd look to want to go at 100% strike rate, at least
Yeah,
the minimum.
160 is around the par.
Yeah, I don't think
this is a good bowling effort. Yeah.
we've only seen 160 once, and that was through a momentum 6 on the final ball to get them up there yesterday. So the outfield's a lot bigger pitches. So the par scores around about being 120, 130
On this pitch.
on this wicket. Yeah. So if you get to 130, you're in with a shout. So the Rebels doing very well. Yeah, at least the Lions restricting them, and they'll want to keep it under 120.
We'd want to. We want to go at less than 6 and over. You've seen we've got some power hitters there. But you never know. This is cricket. Anything can
I can assure you though, Doc, that it's not easy batting out there. It's we've seen a couple of the games.
It actually looks easier than it is, because when you speak to the guys out there,
it's sticky. It stays in the into the
Look,
in
it's
the wicket.
strange because you get tennis ball bounce from one end and you're stuck on the other side. So you got to adjust constantly. Like if you look at this end, the bounce is not nearly as much as the other side.
And I think if you're clever about it, you try and get a left and right combination if you do have a couple, because then this boundary becomes the square boundary closest to us becomes an option.
Yeah.
It's quite a short boundary.
No, so we do have lefties as well. We have right-handed batsmen that play left-handed shot.
That's indeed. Doctor giving all the secrets away here before you had to come out to bat.
No.
The Rebels are listening. They do have a YouTube channel down there at the bottom.
It's fine. There's not much you're going to be a mystery after today. So it's okay.
There's not much mystery. That's the beauty of LMS TV. And that is the first boundary in quite a while there by Daniel Poulton. Finally getting one in the middle of the bat. And it's gone out for the boundary. Doc, thanks for your time.
Thank
and
you
we
so
wish all
much.
your team all the best.
Thank you. They come in and go shout by the sidelines. That's what I do best. Thank you very much.
There you go. We hope to see you and your team go fairly deep in the competition.
We're going to go all the way.
Confidence here by the Doc. We'll keep him to that. He's got batters who go bat left, bat right, and bat both, he says. So Doc Naidu, yeah, got the best hairstyle in the business, that's for sure, is Doc Naidu.
Absolute legend of Last Man Stands. Was a franchise owner there as well in Pietermaritzburg, and an asset to the brand. Fun guy. Got a mohawk. I think we must get a photo of him up on the 10 best moments as well. So
I think we need to do a special package, the best highlights, best haircuts of the LMS World Champions.
Yeah, I won't be featuring in that with my my receding hairline and bald spot, but yeah, Doshan could walk that, I think, if there's a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. It's Fayaz Patel. There's just 6 overs remaining, and the Shofire Lions, they're very much still in control here.
Workman happy with the ones at the moment. 20 of 27. I thought he was going to kick on here, but the bowling, every time they bring on a new bowler, he's just as good as the previous, if not better. So Fayaz Patel's really impressed me here. He's mixing it up. It's a bit quicker than base.
Bjorn, just fantastic bringing Doc Knight. He's provided us with a little bit of insight. So Sheldon Mungru is the younger brother of Kerwin. That's at Northwest at the moment. got an edge down to the third man boundary, and that is coming around and just picking it up, and gets the single out there.
Talent, obviously, no short of talent in that family. Mangru really impressed me.
And apparently he's the opening batter as well, so definitely a good all-round option.
I see he's their top-ranked batsman, so lovely to have an asset like that in your squad. Oh, he's got him.
That is a wicket for Fayaz Patel. It was been a frustrating innings here for the young man. That eventually does come to an end, and that's the third wicket to fall.
Daniel Poulton there. I think he got a bottom edge there. Let's have a look at this replay. Oh, he's just played it on there, and he won't be very happy with that innings.
Just also questioning that, just the shot selection. He's hitting towards the long boundary there, where possibly just trying to drive it through extra cover could possibly have been a better option.
And he actually plays that shot better, so really not on. And that's the sign of a frustrating innings from him. Poulton scored. Daniel Poulton scored 12 off 18, and he had a strike rate of 66, and that's very unlikely figures for the talent of Dan Poulton, and that's a credit to the bowlers of Shofire Lions. He'll be deeply disappointed with that effort. A good team man, Dan Poulton. He'll come back with the ball, bowl a few overs for the Rebels, and he'll need to do a good job. New batsman in is young Chris Pretorius. Another LMS legend. He's been around, and that is a great delivery first up. He's gone up for the LBW, but I think he got a bit of bat on it. Keepers had to do the tidying up behind the stumps there. He's come down the track there, pulled it to deep square leg. Again, no urgency in the field. Is an easy one for the deep square leg to sweep in and do the work. Just the one there for Workman. Score is now 76 for 3 after 15 overs. Chris Pretorius is on 1 off 1, so LBW, he must have got a nick on that. Just to correct the score there for Daniel Poulton, he made 26 off 30, hit 1-4 and a strike rate of 86. Looks like Fahim Suleiman's coming back onto bowl. He's bowled 2 overs for just the 11 runs, picked up the 1 stick. Economy rate of 3.67. Skipper's going to be happy with that performance. Russia's Workman there, who pushes it to square leg. 2 runs there, useful for the Rebels.
It's been a really impressive bowling spell by the Shofire Lions, and particularly the backup bowlers as well. There's 4 overs remaining after this, and Mangru, he still has 2
good options for the skipper. Look at this. Look at that bowling lineup there.
Yeah. So Freiling's got 2, Mangru's got 2. That's a wide, though.
Fantastic stop by the keeper there.
That's what you need from your keeper when you do get it wrong. Could have easily have been 5 wides, but
And the extra ball.
and the extra ball.
So that's priceless
Is there
for
an
the
extra
keeper.
ball in the?
So how it works is the first wide or no ball will create an extra ball, but if you bowl a second one, it's 3 runs to the batsman.
And in the final over, you got to build.
In the final
Five
over,
five
you've
legal
got to bowl
deliveries.
5 legal deliveries, correct.
Okay.
Just in case you get a bit of gamesmanship and the guys are deliberately bowling wides because they know they've got enough runs in the bank.
Fantastic. We're learning all the time at LMS World Championships on TV1.
Just have a look at Murray Workman standing there. He's about a yard outside his crease, trying to get the ball to come onto the bat. He's obviously battling with the conditions here in the Cape.
Welcome to Cape Town. Welcome to Cape Town, young Murray Workman. This is where you find out whether you're a real batter or not, because it's not as easy as just standing on the high fault, hitting through the line. And
This is what we're finding out. This is what they're finding out. And he's actually batted well, Murray Workman. It's not his normal crisp flowing stuff, but he's held this innings together. 25 from 32. He needs a partner in crime here. Chris Pretorius needs to kick on here for them.
And if you're thinking it's just at this level, it's not. It's right across the board, even at the highest level, at the franchise level. And I remember the former Cape Cobras coach, Proteas batter Ashwell Prince. He loved it when the Highveld sides came down to the coast. He knew he could. That's when you have to work for your runs, and
Make them sweat a bit and
he'd always say
test
that.
their concentration and their determination.
He'd always say that his batters, if you look at the averages, you should add 10 to it, because they've scored some hard runs, as he would say. That's the top edge. Is the keeper going to get there? No, he won't. So they'll get a couple. There's a bit of a mix-up, and they do eventually. If that had hit, that would have been
A yard short.
a yard short for Workman.
Trotting through as well. He would have been very angry with himself if he went out there. That would have been a big cost and a
think
bit naughty from Workman, because it should have been an easy
I
2.
think the intent there, just that's what it doesn't show. It wasn't a keeper at the crease, so it was always you're looking to come back, because
100%.
yeah. But just going back to Ashwell, and you'd always say that just add 10, and he'd look at somebody like Carl Verena and say he averages 50, and he'd look at and he'd say that should be 60, and
So Ashwell Prince is probably averaging a 70 then in first class cricket here.
yeah. No, he came down as a young man from the Eastern Cape, where it's not that easy to bat either. So
he was a fantastic cricketer for the Proteas and one of those hard men, a hard cricketer.
definitely.
eh?
When I don't think we always joke about it, in that he scored 100 against every Test playing nation, bar Bangladesh, because whenever he'd walk to the crease, the score would be 400 for 2, and that's not his. He'd give it away. Whereas when they'd be at Headingley and the ball was flint off, and Anderson was swinging the ball around corners, and South Africa were 100 for 5, that's when he'd get his hundreds.
Look,
So,
I would, if I was, it's horrible to put it like this, but if I had the talent of him and I was up there playing for the Proteas, I would take being up at Lord's honours board any day over getting 100 at
and
Chittagong.
Chittagong. That's exactly what he was. He was a man for the tough occasions, and he does have 100 at Lords. And
I remember that innings. It was fantastic to watch him bat out there. And Freiling's back into the attack, and he's showing his class. Another dot ball there.
I remember Freiling having a couple of hard battles with Ashwell during their time. But that's exactly why you play the game.
I think Freiling had a few battles with
Many a folk.
with every opposition.
With many a folk over the years.
Don't see too many verbals out there. They're feeling confident here. I think if Rebels were scoring a bit more freely, he might be throwing a few barbs out.
I think this is a fantastic, the way this has been set up by the Shofire Lions. They've kept their frontline bowlers back. I was of the opinion
He's coming
no
to the
one-
commentary box, and he's picked up that. It's a lovely shot by Chris Pretorius.
That is the second time for this day that Rob Freiling has been dispatched for a 6 in our direction. So
Wasn't a bad delivery. It was a bit down leg.
a bit of a free hit there. just missing his length and his lines. And
I thought it was straighter than it, but coming around the wicket, he's got his lines awfully wrong there. And excellent execution from the batsman.
it's a good little run down there. And that's when we said the value of a left-hander here at the Willie Watson shouldn't be underappreciated, because this boundary really on the leg side, we're playing on the far end and it's quite a short boundary. So if you do have a left-hander, it can be picked up very nicely.
And then maybe missed the trick with not opening with Chris Pretorius, because he's obviously can play shots like that, and having that left hand, right hand early on unsettles the bowlers. So, having said that, if he makes a quick 50 here,
He's going to have to play very well to get a 50 here. There's just 15 balls remaining.
12 off the last ball, eh? Remember that could be a home run.
Ball, yes. And 3 runs for the wide, and it goes towards the batter.
He's
So
on 10 off 6, so it's going to be very hard for him to get a 50. But if he can double that to maybe 30 or 15, be a useful knock in the back end here.
that's definitely, and I think that just that boundary just brought the Rebels, just gave them a little bit more impetus here. And I think for Yas Patel, an off spinner to a left-hander here, this I think we could be in a bit in danger here down in the commentary box.
Let's see if he can keep his head in a steady hedge here.
There we go. That's the first one. It's down to
Okay, not running hard there, Workman, and really naughty of him, because he should have been backing up there and not worried about his gloves and looking back there. Run hard, turn, have a look, and then call. So not one of the batsmen from the Rebels at the moment. The only batsman that's got a higher than 100 strike rate is Chris Pretorius, who's just come in. Everyone else is below 100, which is very difficult to set a target when no one's getting a decent strike rate. That's a lovely shot. Could be out, though.
Base absolutely misjudging that one. It should have been straight down his throat.
Should have gobbled that up. Should have gobbled it, and very late to move again and made it almost impossible. And it should have been a fairly easy to get to the ball, but has got nowhere close to it.
I think those was often the momentum changes when instead of losing a wicket, it goes for the boundary, and then just gives the batter a bit of momentum and to swing freely. And suddenly, it's been a 6, it's been a 4 in the last 4 deliveries.
Yeah, and it was a bad delivery from the bowler, and which we don't often see. And if they had picked up a wicket, the Workman would have kicked himself. But let's see what he comes back with. Oh, he's gone for a reverse sweep. It's got a little bit of bat on that, or is it buys? Down the leg, it'll be wide.
I think this is when the Rebels just need to keep calm, and they've been doing very well for the first 17 overs, but just losing their heads a little bit here when the pressure's on.
It is buys. He obviously went for the reverse here, so that's why it's not a wide. Foxed me there. A little bit of momentum for the Rebels. Can they capitalize? Great nuts, great nuts. It's turned a mile. One to come. It's been a good over for the Rebels, though.
Patel, he wants to get out of this over. He wants minimum a 2.
Oh, that
Instead, it goes straight up in the air, and it'll fall safely for Freiling. Once again, the Rebels, that should bring up their 100. That's the 100 up for the Rebels in the end of the 18th over. Patel, he finishes a fantastic spell of 1 for 17. Should have had 2.
Should have had 2. It's a good spell. Well bowled, Fayez Patel. Be proud of himself there. And again, just at the end of the over, possibly could have put more pressure on the fielder. But Workman not running hard at all. I think his fitness levels or something, maybe got a bit of a cold, but not running as fluently as he should be. Should be easier than up in Johannesburg with the altitude here. That's sea level. This is going to be a fantastic over to watch. Sheldon Mungru coming back into the attack. Batsmen need lots of runs here. They need at least 15 from this over. It's down the leg. It's off the pad.
Mangru fortunate to get away with that one. It drifted down the leg side. Really lucky. It's a short boundary. Could easily have been picked up into our direction.
And I'm not sure why Chris Pretorius looks like he's standing on leg. To Mangru, I'd be on middle. And anything goes down leg, that's 4 runs. Keeper's going to be, if you get a bit of bat on it, or...
We are in the second power play as well. If I was Mangru, I'd get a third. I'd bring one across to the leg side here because particularly to the left-hander.
When you're as quick and accurate as him, you can do that.
Because they're not looking, particularly Pistorius, he's not looking at the offside. He's not wanting to score there. Everything is wanting to be going to the short boundary.
That's a fair call, I think. It's a good assessment of the power play usage that we could employ. Are they running hard here? Good running from Chris Pretorius there. Murray Workman, not so much. Really struggling between the wickets.
Pistorius pulled him through there. He said, that's gone down to Robbie Frying. We're running 2.
Yeah. Should have been an easy 2, but I mean, Chris Pretorius made it to the danger end there very easily, and Workman was struggling back to the batting crease. He's dropped that short. Down the leg, it's a wide. Much needed wide for the Rebels. Extra ball, extra run. And it's actually very tough call that. I think it's almost went over middle stump there, or leg stump, should I say. He's moved across to work it to fine leg. It's great bowling, just the one there. Should have been putting pressure on Freiling, but no intent there again. Not a bad thing, I think, to get Chris Pretorius on strike here, see if he can work anything to the leg side.
I think possibly the Rebels have also, the Lions have missed a trick here, as in Mangru won't be bowling his full quota.
Crazy.
And the short boundary comes into the equation.
See if we can swivel his hips again and work it into the commentary box here. It was pretty terrifying, the last one that came at me. Oh, clever bowling.
Well bowled. That is 150 first-class games just in that one delivery.
Taking the pace off it there, and Chris Pretorius didn't have a Scooby-Doo.
A Scooby-Doo. Get that in one of the 10 moments of the day.
He didn't move his feet, didn't read it at all. Should have gone back on the back foot there and just worked it down to third man. It's 2 there. Are they running for it?
Has to. Workman has to get back. He just simply has to do the work.
And that's a great finish there from Robbie Freiling. What a spell.
Fantastic effort by the Shofire Lions to restrict the Rebels to 112 for 3 in 20 overs. Do not leave us. We will remain on LMS1 TV here. We've got Ross Guild. He'll be onto the field in a short while to interview the players. I think he will have a chat with Robbie Freiling after that bowling spell. But it's the Rebels. They've given themselves a chance. They've got to 112. But the Lions...
They have to bowl very well here, I think. 112, it's defendable, but they're going to have to match the Shofire Lions over for over with their bowlers.
We will see the Rebels. They apparently they've also got a decent bowling attack, and they're going to have to come out and do a really good job. But you can see the Lions, their good Dr. Naidu, he's on the field. He's giving the high fives.
He's put a good team together. What a squad. And well done to Dr. Naidu. And there's a young gentleman by the name of Rudy Khreiling from the Rebels who bowls brilliant leg spinners. And he's going to need to bowl his 4 overs and need to bowl them well, because he can rip through a team, and as he did yesterday. Another guy, Vaughan van Berkel, will be useful on this track.
Will be interesting to see which side the leg he does bowl from, because if he bowls from the avenue to miss side, he might come under pressure with a short boundary. So that's another something that needs to be taken into consideration. Which side do your spinners bowl from?
And if they've got left-hand, right-hand combination, there's no easy side to bowl for a spinner here. As we saw with Chris Pretorius coming in there at the end.
Don't go away, viewers. The Ross Guild, our man on the ground, he'll be catching up with a few of the players fairly shortly.
And Murray Workman's innings there was the glue, but just never kicked on. scoring a useful 36 or 42, but he won't be happy with that. And we'd just like to cross over to Mr. Mark Nicholas, who will be interviewing some of the players, and stay with us for the second innings and the interviews.
Thanks, yeah. We are halfway through the big game between the Rebels and the Shofire Lions from Durban. I've got with me Robbie Freiling. He's played 3 T20 internationals for the Proteas, and he had a great game yesterday. It was 12 needed off the last 2 overs, and he bowled a maiden, which is unheard of in last man stands. Robbie, how's it going?
Good, thanks. Yeah, it's obviously good to be here. Obviously retired from professional cricket, and obviously I think it's a great initiative, the last man stands. There's still a lot of cricketers that don't become professionals that still aspire to be the best they can be, and I think this is a great format and a great platform for them. So it's just good to be here and good to be helping out the guys from Durban and trying to impart a bit of knowledge.
So almost the perfect start yesterday with the win, and sort of halfway through today's game. The Rebels, do you think they've got enough on the board? You guys are a pretty strong batting lineup.
I think it's the 2020 is a funny game. So we've still got to go out and bat well. The wicket is turning a bit, is a bit of bounce, and they're a good side. If you look at their ranking, they're obviously not there for nothing. So we've still got to go out and do the job. They've got the runs, we've got to get them.
Will go well. Good luck today.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. With me now, I've got Ronnie from the Heritage Cricketers from Bangladesh. They have a perfect start to the tournament, 2 from 2. Ronnie, how did they go?
So far, it's good. As expected, we just proved ourselves. But I'm just, still missing those guys who couldn't come as a part of the original squad. One is Deepak and one is Wakas. They're from India and Pakistan both. But it's okay so far, and I'm happy with my team.
So you're well known on the international circuit. You've been to most of the tournaments. Is Cape Town one of your favorite destinations?
Yes, I've been here in 2017. And I'm lucky to be back here again. We were keen in the COVID lockdown that where is the next World Champs would be, and we are the first team from Thailand to win the tournament and qualify for the World Champs. And I'm really happy to come back here again. And the known conditions, known places, and familiar faces from all over the world, and so many teams. And our motto from Heritage is friendship through cricket. So it's been very, very good tournament so far, meeting the other teams from different nations, and we are enjoying. Every lads over here are happy as well, and they're expressing themselves. And we got a mix of juniors and seniors this time, and so far it's been great.
Well done. It's 2 from 2, so good luck in the rest of the tournament. Our next guest today is Mornay from the MBVB. They're a local team from Cape Town. Tournament's been 1 from 1, 1 loss, 1 win. Close loss today. How did they go, Mornay?
Not too bad. Quite chuffed with our performance today. Bowling maybe a bit of a letdown, but the batting we showed with the week we can do it. Yeah.
And which league do you guys currently play in Cape Town?
It's called the Sunday A League, so we're playing in Somerset West at the moment. There's quite a few leagues, but we're playing in Somerset at the moment.
And how did you go today? You got some runs?
Yeah, not too bad. I think it was 24 of 20, which is not bad. I mean, our position, they're cricketers. We are a bunch of amateurs. Like we don't even train. We just rock up and we play. So yeah.
And is this your guys' first World Champs?
Correct. First World Champs.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Monet. And back to you guys in the studio.
So it was good to hear from Mark Nicholas there down there, doing some interviews with the players. Some good insight from Ronnie from Heritage, Robbie Freiling. And the second innings is going to get underway shortly. The Rebels only getting 112, only losing 3 wickets. But they're in the game. We know there's wickets has been favouring the bowlers so far today, and there's been low scores, so 112, you're not out the game. As we look at the scorecard, Murray Workman, 36 of 42. Workman like innings, perhaps the strike rate not where he needed to be, but same with Poulton. Pistorius tried to get some momentum going. Darius Duplessis 16 from 13, and Liebenberg 8 from 6. So all 5 batsmen just struggling to get the ball away, which tells a big story on its own. All 5 are accomplished players, and they generally scored high strike rates. We'll look at the bowling figures. 2 wickets for Mangru. Fires Patel, pick of the bowlers, arguably, with just 17 from his 4. And then Robbie Freilink, 4 for 23. Pienaar Base, just going for 17 from his 4. And then the 5th and 6th bowlers, Suleiman. Okay, so we looking at the Pool F of the World Champs here. First innings, Rebels put down 112 from 3 in their 20 overs. So 112 from their 100 balls. We're at the interval break. The second innings is going to get underway shortly as we look at Rebels' current form. Win, win, win. Shore Lions, win, win, win. But there's going to be a loser here. There has to, we could have a tie. Rebels, 522 games, only lost 113 with a win ratio of 75%. Shore Lions, less experienced, playing 22 games, but they're on a winning run despite the win ratio of 54. They've got a world ranking of 1474, but they ahead in this game. They're playing the Rebels, who are ranked number 2 in the world and number 2 in South Africa. So the Rebels, who are favourites for this match, but going into the second innings, they've got a lot of work to do. We're at the Western Province Cricket Club, which is in Cape Town, Newlands. We've got the Table Mountain in the background. Beautiful place to play cricket. It's a balmy afternoon. Temperatures now into its 30s. We had thunderstorms overnight. And the heat is definitely absorbing all the water and moisture out of the ground, and we can expect this wicket to take a bit of turn this afternoon. So we saw early on in the match, Robbie Freilink, former South Africa international. He completed the last over, just going for 23 from his 4 overs. He's going to be crucial with the bat later. We're just waiting for the batsmen and the umpires to get onto the field for the second innings. Run trace, 112 needed from 100 balls. LMS cricket, 25 ball overs. Who are you backing at home here, folks? 2 South African teams, one from Johannesburg. That's the Rebels. And then the Shofire Lions, they're from Pietermaritzburg. They've never played before. The crowd's starting to come in for the afternoon games. The top 2 from each group go through to the round of 16. So the loser of this match isn't necessarily out the tournament. Both of them won their first match. So you would think that the winner of this match will top the group, and the loser will have to win their final game to qualify for the round of 16. I'm joined in the commentary box by Bjorn Briggs. You watched more of that first innings than I did, and maybe you could just update the viewers on some of the highlights for you. Were you impressed with Robbie Freilink, the former South African international?
He went for the most tap out of all their bowlers. And what a Freiling got hit for about 3 sixes, so he was about 6.4, 6.5, but very astute with his captaincy and his field settings, and just know the Shofire Lions all bowled very well, and the batsmen need to back it up now. If the Rebels can take anything away from that first innings, is they've been shown the way to bowl well on this track.
And what sort of length are you looking to? Are you looking to bowl just back of a length?
It's back of the length, Wayno, and you've got to mix it up. There's something in it for the quick bowlers. As soon as Freiling pitched it up, you've been for a bit of tap. But yeah, the key I think is mixing up your pace and varying it.
And it's taking a bit of turn as well from what I've seen.
That's taking a bit of turn. Their one bowler, Sheldon Magoon, was actually the one bowler who didn't mix up his pace, and he is just absolute Sheldon Magoon with absolute gas. And they only gave him the 3 overs, but he was a standout for me. There was the mark there with an easy one down to long off. Opening the batting is Sheldon Magoon, so he's an all-rounder, and he's joined by Pinar Base, who scored I think they both scored a handy 50 yesterday. Target is 113 for them. Rebels outfits very useful. They're going to need their spinners Rudy Kraling and Vaughan Van Berkel to do a very big job for them. The middle overs.
Oh, that's a good start from Craig Marshall. Craig Marshall, experienced cricketer, experienced at the last man stands format. For those of you just joining the footage, last man stands cricket is a 100-ball game. It's the original 100-ball game, 25 ball overs.
Getting a bit of a way shade there with 2 full on that occasion. It's pushed down to long off. Good work by Dan Bolton in the deep there.
That's good cricket all round. Well bowled, maybe slightly over pitch, but elegantly cover driven. Huge boundary out there. Bolton runs around and outstretched arms and saves 2 runs.
What I have enjoyed, one thing that the Rebels didn't do well was turning the ones into twos. It'll be interesting to see.
Oh, he's beaten the bat there.
Great delivery.
So we've got a contest on our hand here, folks.
Be good to see if the Shofire Lions can show more intent running between the wickets. Great delivery, great shape away from the bat there. That's just seemed from middle stump, and the keeper's taking it well outside off stump there.
Oh, just a bit of late. It's just gone quite late there.
Very late. Marshall thought he had a ball, just kept on going.
It's good to see Marshall bowling well again, because I remember at the last World Champs, if I remember correctly, it sort of moved himself to 5th or 6th bowler, but he looks back on the money there.
Had a good SA Champs, and he's done well in the Joburg Last Man Stands League. Scores 3 without loss after 1, and Rebels will be very happy with that start. Keeping them under 5 and over is the game plan. Bolton's the next bowler. He's bowling to Sheldon Mungrew. Very Workman moving his fielders around here. Dan Bolton, useful all-rounder for the Rebels. Very experienced LMS players. Played 200 games for the team. Starts with the 4-1 off the pads down the leg.
And what's the rest of the Rebels bowling lineup? Do they have any spin options?
Rudy Kraling is an amazing leg spinner. Had a few injuries in his time, but really unlucky not to get a contract early on in his career. He's a bit older now, but I really like watching him bowl. I think he's an exciting one to watch for the tournament.
Oh, that's clipped it. That's into the... Oh, and that's straight over the Heineken banners there.
That is huge, and he just played that with ease and grace.
And
Ball again, and
but that's a great cricket shot. That's not a slog. He just clipped that up his legs. Just pure timing and strength.
little punch. I don't even think it was strength. I think that was just timing there, Redo.
Yeah, but I think
Lovely shot.
I think if you and I played that same shot beyond with our
Time it as made the boundary.
yeah,
The short game,
it is a short boundary there, but that's cleared the ropes by a long way.
cleared the roof, Redo. And now how does Dan come back from that? They're getting the new balls. Up the irrigation tap there.
In a low-scoring game like this, sixes are worth more than six. Beyond it, it's
Hurts the morale of
Yeah.
the fielding team when they see that, and
Yeah.
they're only defending 112.
yeah. There's just a slight delay now as this ball is stuck in the rooftop. It's a brand new ball. It's in the gutter, but we've got it back. And Polton now knows to stay off Mungro's legs. That's a better area.
Much better length, much better line. Good comeback from Paulson there. Peanut Base not happy with himself. He's on 8 off 6. He's rolled his wrist there. What a delivery. He's just taken the pace off and bowled a leg spinner.
And he was aiming for, he was targeting the same boundary there.
1 all.
Pushed out, batsman looking for two here, running between the wickets hard. This is good cricket, Jeff, on the short four lines.
Very good running. We didn't see that in the first innings. And could this be the difference between winning and losing? Such a fine margin when two big teams play against each other. Two of the tournament favourites up in the same group.
And talking of big, Sheldon Mungro is an immense. Oh, that's gone again!
It's in the commentary box.
Oh my word!
It's just gone over my left shoulder, folks. Gonna need to put that ball through the rings because it's square against the chimney here on the roof.
And Peanut Base. Keeping
The big boy and he's clobbered that.
keeping the crowd interested, keeping the commentators interested. And now Polton's going to have to rethink his strategy here. And there's an attempted slow ball again there.
Base now 16 off 8. He's got a 200 strike rate. It's the end of the over. The score is 18 without loss after 2. Lots of pressure on the Rebels here.
When you look at it from here, Bjorn, it looks hard. How they're going to find a victory from here? I think the only way is they're going to need to pick up wickets. And
We were just discussing with earlier that the spinners are going to need to do something, and which end do you bowl your spinners from? Into the wind or with the wind? And you've got to have quite an astute captain get the fielders in the right place. But I think it's time to bring on Rudy Freeling straight after this over.
yeah, even though there's a short, I agree with you. Maybe if they had more runs on the board, you could hold him back for the second and head into the big square boundary. But you almost need Peanut Base to try and take a game, or maybe try and slog one across the line to the leg spin and send one straight up. So normally I wouldn't be saying leg spin in the first 10 here, but just due to the match circumstance, it might be worth giving him one over.
They're up against it here, Wayne. They've got to take a few risks. Warren van Berkel, the other spinning option, is sitting out this match, so
So Marshall just drifts that one into the pipes. And just a leg bite.
getting good shake though, Wayne. That one swung in quite late.
Yeah, and he's actually moving it both ways. I don't know if that's intentional, but he's definitely finding something through the air here, Marshall. And he's getting the ball up there as well. Can he find a wicket though? Peanut Base, they're ready with two enormous sixes. Well bowled.
Great.
Oh,
Fumbled it. Should have done better there.
so this is impressive from Marshall.
Fantastic
He's only gone for 5 in his 2 overs.
Even from the front. His team needed that. You'll be happy with that. That'll settle some nerves. Gets the sunglasses from Tulani Sulu, one of our stalwart umpires from Last Man Stands. This is his third world champ standing here. A lot of respect from the players.
So, Bjorn, I mean, the Rebels, they're from Johannesburg. Do you think their family will be watching any of the game footage?
I know his mum must be watching and his wife will be watching. His father sadly passed away recently. He was a great guy, actually played cricket for Western Province. So, talented family. John, his dad would be very proud of that performance from Craig. He's leading from the front, and a big shout out to his family. Coming back in, I would have taken him off. He really went for some stick. This is going to be a turning over here. If he bowls another over like the last one, they're going to be in trouble.
Bjorn, I think he's going to prove you wrong here. I think he's going to pick up. I think his base is going to go for the same shot, and he's going to scar one here.
I did say it's a turning over here, Wayno, so keep it out of the way.
Yeah.
My options open to be on the fence. But
Peanut Base likes the sight of Daniel Poulton, but Daniel Poulton's a wily customer.
so if he picks up a few wickets here, it'll be a turning over. But
Oh no!
falls, and it's going to turn the other way.
And Poulton's under pressure here. Beyond so far, you've got this right. You've called. You said they needed a change. I'd back Poulton. I think he's got something in there to find a wicket, but it needs to happen quickly.
He's a fantastic bowler. Facing him out. It's Lake Sports Club, and he had get 6s and 7s. I thought he was a lot slower than he was, but he comes in from a very high action. And I came down the track to him, and he dropped it short, got me in the ribs. The next one was an off cutter, and I didn't last long out there. He's fantastic skills, but he's under the pump here, Wayno.
Oh, and he almost gets one squeezed through Peanut Base. Just late chops on that one. High backlift, and Poulton fires in the Yorker and almost executes. But great matchup here.
Bowling there by Dan, and that's the length. There's just no room for a half volley on this stretch.
Well, he's just taking the pace off it there. And it looks like Sheldon Mungu's role is just to rotate the strike and give it back to Peanut Base, who's already hit 2 huge 6s and clipped one of his legs for 4 as well. All of the bowling of Poulton.
I like this over so far from Poulton. Happy to go for the 4 runs. He's bowling a better mix up of legs here.
It's gone again. The field's coming around on. Oh, he's dropped it. That was a big moment in the game. I thought Poulton was going to get a wicket. I was hoping I was going to be called earth, and the fielders just... Oh, it was a tough chance, but he should have taken it, I think.
That really should have been held. Difficult chance, but
Comes around. It's a difficult chance, but you've got to take those when you've only got 112 on the board. He'll be disappointed. That could have been the moment there just to get them back in the game.
matches were matches, and that was a big opportunity to pull one in.
It was right and under pressure on the balcony. There's a crowd starting to come in. And not easy under pressure. A lot of people watching this game, a lot of people in the balcony. Another day might have caught that if we see Marshall continue.
I think that's the right decision to bowl it third, to be very economical.
Yeah, he just needs from the other end someone to try and get another. You need 2 overs in a row of pressure, and that's the way you maybe try and get a wicket. At the moment, they're scoring well above the run rate. They only need 82 from 79, so it's a runner ball here. And that's going to...
Right, it's in the gap. It should be 2 here. Easy 2. Very clever batting here from Peanut Base. He's showing that he can hit the big ones as well as work the ball around.
Actually makes him a difficult bowler to bowl to, because you think he's looking to hit you over mid-wicket, but then he's actually quite elegant through the offside as well. So really big asset to have someone like this up front, and I think a lot of the teams can learn from that. If you've got to...
Marshall comes back with the dots. Good to see.
I've seen a few teams with maybe going with 2 steady openers. I do like having one maybe guy that's going to look to get after the bowlers and one guy that's just going to maybe rotate the strike. And this is good tactics, I think, from the short four lines.
Rebels had Darius Duplessis doing the pitch hitting, and he hit a few big sixes early on.
Yeah.
But went out in the third over, unfortunately for them, so it didn't quite work on. And then
But Marshall continues to impress, yeah. He's now bowled 13 deliveries and he's just gone for 8. So just needs someone from the other end to back him up after his over, and then you might just be able to force a wicket.
they need some wickets here, Bueno, and wickets and not only dot balls, but builds a bit of pressure. They need 3 quick ones the next 10 overs, otherwise it's game over.
But we also see Beyond, also the thing is taking the game deep. So even if they're not picking up wickets, they manage to get 2 maiden, well not maiden overs, but maybe 2 overs that go for 3 or 4, and suddenly the scoreboard tightens up.
Two new batsmen at the crease start feeling the pressure, and they do stupid things.
Yeah.
Anything can happen as cricket, but in the driving seat is Shofire Lions, showing that they are one of the contenders for this World Champs. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to hand over to Mr. Simon Mulvers, the Managing Director of Last Man Stands. Welcome, Simon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bjorn. Nice to be here. It looks like just in time for Rudy Grayling to come into the attack with his leg spin.
Yeah, before you come in the commentary, Simon, Beyond was actually calling for Rudy Cronin to come in. He thought Rudy might be able to unlock a wicket here. It's a big gamble here because there's a small boundary on the leg side. So, but you got to be hitting against the spin, and maybe they're trying to force an unforced error off pin-out base. I think Sheldon Munro is just going to look to rotate the strike. I'd be surprised if he tries to take any gamble here. I don't think that's his role.
I was speaking to Rudy yesterday afternoon, and he was telling me he loves bowling the wrong end, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see one tossed up outside off and then one quicker wrong and pushed through. Looks like that was the leg spin first time.
Yeah, I think with the big boundary on the leg side, I'd be a little bit nervous. I mean, small boundary on the leg side, I'd be a little bit nervous to bowl a wrong one to pin-out base. But you never know. I think the hope is here that pin-out base tries to go long over mid-wicket and just skies one. Oh, turn there. This is a good start here from Grayling. So that is a leg spinner as we watch the replay. Oh, that's turned big. That's turned big.
Quickly as well, sharp and quick. All looked out to cover.
Bolton comes around.
Always quick running. Bolton's going to keep running still. High knees. Back for 2.
Now, good from Bolton. Covered a lot of ground out there. Pin-out base just rocked onto the back foot. And is well aware of where the gaps are. And this is a very good start here from pin-out base. It's gone long, straight down the field. There's a fielder under, this should be out. And it is! That's a big moment in the game.
Made that look more difficult than it should have been, but good catch in the end.
And that's what Beyond Briggs was calling for. He called for Grayling to come on early. I didn't think pin-out base would make the unforced error there, but that's the way he plays. He just wanted to keep going, but suddenly this could turn the game here.
But just twisted in his hand in the field. Thinking we could have made that easier, but anyway. See the bat just twisted it in his hand there, out of half.
You knew as he hit it that he hadn't quite timed it. But a well played knock, that's got them going. That's got them well ahead of the rate here. And now what the Rebels will be hoping is that they can squeeze in 5 or 6 balls with not many off the bat, and then suddenly the game comes straight back into the balance.
See if we can get some scores from the other grounds as well, Wayne.
So this is the Last Man Stands World Championship 2022. This is a good battle here. Both these teams winning their first group game. So you'd think the winner of this group will top their group and be guaranteed a spot in the last 16. And the loser of the match will need to win their last match to qualify, or hope a few other results go their way. But they'd want to have it in their own hands leading into the last round of the group stage. 4 teams in each group. So
Rebels and Shofire Lions on paper the favourites for this group.
as we see Polton back into the attack. He's been a bit expensive, going for 22 from his 2. But now that Peanut Base is out the equation, they've got Daniel Polton back on.
BMC Victorians from Bangladesh also in this group, so they got the bonus point win yesterday, so 4 points after 1.
And who was that against? Which was the other team in that group? As we see Polton continue.
So Abusement Park's the other team, so Rebels had a big victory against Abusement Park yesterday. Shofire Lions narrowly beat BMC Victorians, so that's the threat to whoever loses.
Yeah, that's going to be almost like a playoff match there, wouldn't it? So this is a big lot riding on this match. You don't want to be going into the group stages worrying about having to get a win in your final game of the group stages.
Tomorrow will be Abusement Parks and Shofire Lions, so you expect Shofire to win that one, so it's really on Rebels here to at least take this game deep, try and get the bonus points, and then they just got to overcome BMC tomorrow, and they should get through.
I think Shofire Lions are a slightly stronger bowling unit than they are batting. So, although they're only chasing 112, you just see, if you go and look at the timeline, good bounce outside off stump there from Polton. Look at that timeline of deliveries. It's just starting to go in Rebels' favour here.
Good hard length there from Poulton. He's a tall man, so hits the deck hard when he wants to.
Running the first one hard. Fielder's coming around. Direct hit, could be tight. Oh, and there's a dive. He gets the dive, and good commitment there shown from Warren Naidu.
Yeah, it's more of a roll than a dive, mate. So it's got to be Rudy grading again here, surely.
But it's a good comeback over from Daniel Polton.
So guys, just turned my mic up here. It was a little bit low, but hopefully all sorted now.
Thanks Wesley Middleton for the assistance there.
He is one of the LMS legends, I believe, from Joburg. Surprised that he's not down here this week.
So the new bowler, Jason Liebenberg. I haven't seen much of him play. Simon, have you?
No, I didn't get to watch Rebels yesterday. Don't know much about him. I'll see if I can get any intel from our stats man.
So Jason Liebenberg's got a big job to do here. The run rate's just starting to come back down to 6 and over. They need just over 5 and over. At the moment, 70 or 65 balls. So pretty much a runner ball. Oh, and Polton did well there. That's not Polton, that was
Craig Marshall out on that.
Yeah, very well fielded there. That if you'd missed that, that's 4 runs. So outstanding fielding, saving 3 there. It wasn't all the way on the boundary. I think he's there to sort of ensure he stops at 2. But on that occasion, he saved 3 because either side of him, it would have been 4 runs.
So Liebenberg's actually the 11th ranked bowler in South Africa. So he bowls a heavy ball there. Big shoulders on the man. So there's a good all-round here. Liebenberg's looking at his stats. Don't know if he got any with the bat, but he's the 3rd ranked batsman in South Africa. 11th ranked bowler, so one of the better players going around the Joburg circuit.
Yeah, he found it tough with the bat, but all the bat will have. That's straight down the ground. Could be 4. Polton comes around again.
Well fielded.
That's the third time Polton's had to get the long strides out and slide, but he very effective. To watch these long strides of Polton coming around here. High knee action, puts in the dive.
It's well bowled there by Liebenberg. Good hard lengths. That's what they need to do. Outside off stump, make them try and work the ball to third man, see if they can get a nick.
Tell you what, Simon, this game is now tightening up. It looked all surefire lines 2 or 3 overs ago while Pienaar Base was at the crease. But there's a few dot balls occurring now.
Well bowled. So they're just taking the leg side out of the equation here, which is perfect. Shorter boundary here, so when they spin round at the 10 over mark, then it'll be hitting towards the longer boundary. Be interesting to see how they take to Rudy Grayling. They obviously want to save him a few overs for the back end.
I think what they've done here, I think it's smart captaincy here from Craig Marshall, because they've given him the 1 over, but they know in the second 10, it's a huge boundary on the leg side, and they'll be heading against the spin. So just worth the gamble. They bowled him 1, and the gamble paid off, and now they're keeping him in the bank. So I like the captaincy here.
Now Marshall's going to come bowl. He normally swings the ball big. I don't know if was he swinging it earlier, Wayne?
He did. I think the new ball has swung a lot more. I think after about 6-7 overs it doesn't swing as much, but he was actually getting it to swing both ways.
Probably didn't help when Pienaar boys put the one on the roof here and change of ball.
Oh! That could have been a great Corton bowl. Hit back hard at him. He deserves a wicket here, does Marshall.
Low full toss and he... Ooh.
I think he thought it was coming quicker than it was.
Yeah.
Beaten by lack of pace there.
It can happen.
Watches it. Oh! He'll be thinking, I just kept my eye. Sort of took his eyes off. I think he was expecting it to come back a lot quicker there. Just the 1. So there's dots and 1s now.
So that's that gap's just slightly creeping up and growing their way, and still pretty comfortable. 64 needed off 58 now. It's something to keep an eye on. Scoreboard pressure.
Last man stands. Only 8-a-side cricket. So 6 fielders, but all 6 fielders are allowed on the boundary. So it's not easy to score boundaries, especially against quality bowling like this. And as I say, that's gone for the fielder's gone under. It's easy to score boundaries here. That's 6 runs to Warren Naidu.
Just a bit too straight from Craig. Be interested to see. I think that it's pitching on leg, pitching on middle and shaping in, so it's not a great delivery. Just picked up, helped along the way. Good effort by the fielder, but got a hand to it, but just couldn't keep it in.
That's the old commentator's curse. As I said, it's not easy to score boundaries. Marshall just feeds him one on the legs.
So Zahir blew up a lot of blokes yesterday, talking them up, and then they got out, so it can happen.
But still a great spell for Marshall. He's only gone from 17, 18 from his 19 deliveries, so less than run a ball, even including the 6. There's a lot of dot balls in the spell, which has kept the team in the game. Can he finish his spell with a wicket here? He deserves one.
Ooh. See what he's trying to do there, but just a little bit too wide.
He's giving himself another chance for another wicket there.
That was very wide.
Yeah. Still swinging a bit.
It's surprising, there's actually not much breeze here today. A little bit from bottom right corner screen across to the top left, but not as much as on most days.
So Marshall in from the Gary Kirsten oval end.
Could be 2.
That's cleverly placed.
Right, it's in the gap, and they call it. Craig Marshall's calling the guys to back up there.
So Sheldon Mangro, he knows his role here. Open the bowl in. Great spell from him. He's opened the bat in as well. Going at lesser run a ball, but Pienaar Base, his opening partner, got them off to a flyer, which has allowed him just to play within himself. This is the last over before we 10. For those of you just joining the broadcast, last man stands cricket. You bowl 10 overs from one end, and then you swap at the halfway mark, and you bowl the 10 overs from the other end. So we will be turning after this over, and you'll probably see a lot more spin in the second half of this innings because will be a big boundary on the leg side for the right-hander.
What do you think tactically here, Wayne? Do you think they'll be looking to get a few bounds in this over just to break it open? Ooh, I think Warren Naidu might be looking that way. Well, they've still got Robbie Farlink in the hut, so...
What I have seen from Warren Naidu so far is he favours the leg side. So I really think that'll work in the favour of the Rebels with the leg spinning. Crayling just all to come in the second 10.
Ooh, geez, he's hit that hard.
Down the ground, Paulson again coming around. This time he can't get the long legs going quick enough, and it's 4 runs.
Tell you what, that was quick moving there by Tulani. He's nearly lost an ankle on that one. Look at him move his foot. Wasn't that close, but he has quickly moved.
That's a great shot. So Sheldon Munger seizing the moment there.
Ooh.
Oh, this is a great contest here between bats and ball. This is still anyone's game. Shofire Lions probably slightly ahead, but we've seen in previous world champs, Simon, in the back end there, anything can happen on an attritional wicket. It just takes 1 or 2 tight overs and then a wicket, and then suddenly the field and team's on top.
Definitely, and there's a lot of pressure in this as well. A lot of guys have been looking forward to this event for the last 2 years, as we see another single there from Sheldon Mungru. So guys have come here to win it, and the big expectations. Family watching on.
Warren Naidu's just had another look to the leg side balcony. He's definitely looking leg side, yeah. Bottom hand grip. And he's just pushed one out to offside.
For 2 as well. Smart batting.
This is great batting from Warren Naidu, proving that he can score all around the wicket.
It's a double bluff there. He looked up to the balcony. Maybe he was just looking to see if his family's up there.
Well, that's good cricket from Naidu. I'm sure his family and friends in Petermaritzburg will be watching closely. And look at that backdrop of Table Mountain, Simon.
No, it couldn't be in a more beautiful city for this event. We've been to some great places with the World Champs, Barbados, Sydney, but now back in Cape Town. It's absolutely stunning here. So you can just see there's a few clouds above. There's possibly a little bit of rain forecast for later, but we pray it doesn't come. As Wayne just stepped out, and I'm joined by the commentary captain here, Ross Kaywood. Sorry, Mark Nicholas.
Simon, that's a great introduction. Very kind of you. I wouldn't quite call myself the commentary captain.
Who do you think that is, man? You've got to be close.
No, I think it's got to be Zaire this week.
So as predicted, we do see Rudy Grayling coming from the far end now. Massive hit out to the leg side boundary. They're just getting his fielder in position there at deep mid wicket. So he's got long on deep mid wicket and then a deep square leg right on square. Craig Marshall, the skipper, just being moved to backward point for the little dab. So it'll be interesting to see if Sheldon Mungru's got the reverse sweep in his locker. As maybe they've heard me there, moving Craig Marshall back to the deep backward point. Boundary's quite fine, but just looking to protect against reverse sweep. And then we've got long off, straightish, and then a deep cover.
I've got a feeling this is going to be a close finish here.
Oh! It's a great start by Rudy. Bowled one over from this end. That looked like the wrong end there. Oh no, it's turned big. That's definitely not the wrong end.
Some good rip on that one. Giving some flight, giving a chance to turn. Well bowled.
Oh, and again.
Bowling that. It's almost the leggy's perfect ball. Almost the ball of the century.
Yeah, not quite. It's a good delivery though. So Rudy going through his full arsenal here. Oh, if they had Craig Marsh in that backward point spot where he was, it would have been straight down his throat, but just loops and they get the single. So it'll be interesting to see how Warren Naidu takes it on now. He was trying to hit it large to the leg side in the previous over from the other end, but swapped around now. See if he will take it on. just going to bringing Craig Marshall up to just about exactly where that ball landed. So good reactive field placement.
This is a good contest, Si, from a team that has been playing LMS for the last decade versus a team from Peter Maritzburg who's very new to the concept.
Oh, that one's nicked it. Oh, they just can't catch
Craig.
a trick here.
Put the dive in. It's 4 more.
Can't catch a trick here. Craig Marshall, as the dog just comes to make sure he's okay. So he was on the boundary. The ball floated to where he just was, and they brought him up. And then it's run past him for 4. It's a great effort, though, putting it all in for his team.
Let's just head out into extra cover. Should be able to get back for 2. It's very good running there.
Oh, close, but well done.
Gets the dive in just to be safe. So the required rate is 41 or 46. Going to be a close finish, I feel, here. Got 2 very good teams. So really, after 11 overs, the score is 74 for 1.
39 off 45.
Yep. Both batsmen set. Sheldon Mungru, 22 of 24. And Warren Naidu, 19 of 11. Shofire Lions definitely controlling the game at the moment, but a few wickets could always change things, as we know. So Chris Pistorius into the attack.
Wickets mean prizes here, Ross.
Was
Great fielding. That's caught it bowled.
That's a great catch.
He's walked. Umpire wasn't sure. That happened so fast. We need to see a replay there in slow motion. That was unbelievable. What a catch.
Any catch off your own bowling is difficult.
Especially if you're a slow left armour.
A right arm off spinner, buddy. Nonchalantly just chucks it back to the umpire.
Fantastic
Easy
stuff
catch,
there.
easy game. Is there a twist in the tail here for the Shofire Lions, who seemingly are cruising this game? Great catch again, as we see in the highlight.
Much needed wicket there for Rebels. Score is 74 for 1 after 11. Shofire Lions need 39 or 45, and the Rebels need lots of wickets. That'll give Chris Pistorius a bit of confidence. Chris Pistorius.
So the new batter is Fahim Suleiman. Good player.
He had a good spell with the ball. He's going to now have to fight for his place on the team. And he's told that he was originally benched, and he said to the captain, "No, I've got to play." And he said, "Okay, well, you're in the side, but I want to see you perform." And he's done a job with the ball. Bowled very well. But yeah, let's see what he can do with the bat here.
This is a good, going to be a good contest here. Chris Pistorius being a right-arm off spinner, Suleiman left-handed batter, so the ball's going to be turning away. As we've seen, this wicket is taking turn. But he has got the advantage of the short boundary on the leg side.
It's well bowled. So Fahim bowled 3 overs for 18. No wickets. Very tidy bowling.
He's got the arm ball.
There's 2 arm balls in a row there. He's just darting them in. A bit of shape there, Ross.
Reminds me of my own bowling, Briggsy. That's 3 dots in a row.
Good pressure. Good pressure. That's what the Rebels need. Can't ask more from your bowler. And dot balls.
Oh, he's targeted the
That's what pressure does. That's dot balls.
Long on his throat. What a catch.
Just
Went like a tracer bullet.
stood there like a rock and swallowed it. Well caught there. I think that was Rudy Grayling in the deep.
Unbelievable scenes here. And is there a twist in the tail I mentioned earlier?
Dot balls are just so priceless, hey Roscoe. There were, 3-4 dot balls in a row, and then the pressure built and release shots caught it long off there. So that's good captaining and good bowling.
As we see the balcony, all the players that have finished their games for the day enjoying a few cold beverages.
The
Teams are
crowd is pulling in for a great afternoon of cricket, and there's a few more matches on after this one.
So, the big Robbie Freilink, big name here, good player. Interviewed him at the break. He's played 3 T20 internationals for the Proteas, a seasoned professional. I think he's played for the Lions and the Dolphins for the last 20 odd years. So he'll know what to do in this situation. He would have. This won't be his first rodeo.
He's got a good head on his shoulders, and his job is just to take them home.
Okay, so Warren Naidu on strike, 19 off 11.
Having said that, though, Roscoe, there's added pressure on him as he does have all that experience. So guys are going to be leaning on him, and that can build a different kind of pressure than he's used to. When you're playing in a professional outfit, everyone's got their job to do. But now they're all going to be looking to him, and Rebels maybe can capitalize on that.
Ooh, well bowled there by Rudy Grayling. Getting some zip and turn.
And Rudy Grayling would love to take a few more wickets. Yeah, he'd put that one in the memory bank if he can get Freilink out.
It's all well played. He's just played it down to third man. It's Craig Marshall chasing it. We'll get back for 2.
Rudy Grayling is one of players I'm going to try and sign up for the Joburg Jets, playing in the Indian Super Series. I think he's a fantastic talent. I think he's one that slipped through the net. I think he should have and maybe possibly could have been a professional cricketer. And I'm going to have a quiet talk to him this tournament to see if we can get him over to India, to Delhi for the Indian Super Series. Roscoe, have a look at him, and let me know what you think. Yeah.
We'll be taking a London team. So I've got my eyes on a few players. Been looking through the stats. I'm obviously running the London competition. I know who all the players are. So got some big names.
A lot of talent in your pool there. You got over 400 teams playing in London.
Yeah, it's a great competition.
Difficult job to choose the best 8 from there.
Yeah, but I've got a good idea of who I want to take on tour.
Just floated that one up, and Freilink just it's not tempted there, just
off the mark.
Happy to push it for one end. Darius Du Plessis misfielded that, and he's very lucky they haven't punished him.
Robbie Freilink asking why he wasn't watching. There was an easy 2 there with the misfield.
The score is 78 for 3 after 13 overs. Requires run rate now is 35 off 35 balls.
What a beautiful backdrop that is, Briggsy. Back of Table Mountain, the West Province Cricket Club.
Lovely setting here in Cape Town. And if you're in the vicinity of Rondebosch Newlands, come down for a cold beverage. We've got some Heineken's on tap. And there's a very good atmosphere building here at the moment.
So 35 of 35, game on. Well played.
Just works it to the onside for 1. Turns for a second. Makes it look very easy, does Rudy Freilink.
Well played again. Just nudge it down to fine leg. Perfect pace on it, just so you can get back for 2.
Clever cricket. And after this match, we've got the BMC Victorians taking on the Abusement Parks, both with heavy losses yesterday. So both of them will be looking to get on the up the table and get a win off. The first win of the tournament.
So Abusement Parks, they're from Ipswich, Australia, and the BMC are from Bangladesh. 36 teams here for this week. Got the globe pretty well covered.
Fantastic to see everyone putting their passion into touring again and coming to join this festival of cricket. It's the pinnacle event for Last Man Stands. See the best of the best teams from around the world. Beautiful Cape Town. Interesting. The ball. The Shofire Lions cruising at the moment, but another wicket or two could put them in a bit of trouble.
Just need 1 or 2 boundaries to completely release the pressure off the Shofire Lions. Because as we head into like the last sort of 30 balls, anything can happen. Briggs, you've been around a long time. You've seen everything in a Last Man Stands game.
Just about, Roscoe, just about. And it's not over until that last ball is bowled.
We haven't seen a home run yet this week, have we?
I haven't watched all the games. I think Johan Fourie might have hit a home run. He's a home run specialist. Whenever Masagami are in trouble, he manages to launch a home run. Oh, it's a poor throw there from Marshall. Workman should have done better though.
That's good presence of mind there by Robbie Freilink. He's always looking for the 2. If we've got any viewers watching who don't know what's going on here, it's a Last Man Stands World Champs in Cape Town. It's our pinnacle event. We've got Shofire Lions from Durban taking on the Rebels from Johannesburg.
All the teams have got to play in qualification events, Roscoe?
Yep.
In different countries.
So all these teams would have won their national competition or got to a quarter-final or semi-final of their regional competition. So it is the best of the best. Last Man Stands is a global 8-a-side amateur competition. A few quirky rules.
That's a great ball there. It's the wrong on. Top spinner. Yeah. It's a good shot, probably going over the top there. We've seen those given under pressure situations.
Two umpires just wanting to have a quick chat. Oh no, they're appealing because of the batter handling the ball.
You don't like to see anyone appealing for handling the ball.
The umpires have made the right decision. Well done to them.
It's an experience from Tulani. It's poor for Murray Workman there. I know they're under the pump there, but in my opinion, my humble opinion, technically you can be out for handling the ball, but that is...
well, I think he's going back to trying to...
It's worse dismissal than Mancat. I'm actually in favour of Mancat, but handling the ball is a sporting thing to do. It's a dead ball. He's picked it up and passed it back to the bowler. He's been standing in his crease.
It wasn't if it was going to go hit the stump.
No.
So that's
maybe it was rolling, but I didn't see that. And anyway, if it was, you could kick it away, slowing the game down. And I think the tournament director is going to have a word with the Rebels, because this is not very sporting, and it's not good to see. It's not good for the cameras.
Okay.
And the wind is picking up a bit, and we hope the ground staff are getting ready to put the covers on. Got a lot of cricket here this week.
Okay, so we're back to the game. Rudy Kraling going to bowl his last ball. His fourth over. Set down the ground to mid-off just for the single. Brings to an end a very good spell. 4 overs, 1 for 19. Very, very acceptable figures in a game of last man stands.
He's a fantastic bowler. Score is 89 for 3 after 15 overs. Shofire Lions require 24 runs from 25 balls. We've got at the crease Warren Naidu, who's on 27 from 21, and Rob Freiling, 7 from 5. Warren Naidu is on strike. The bowler is Chris Pistorius.
Also bowled well. 2 wickets for 6 runs in his 2 overs.
Bowling into the wind. Darts that, it's a full toss. And he's just punched it for 1. Looking for 2. They've run hard there. Showing good intent, but settle for 1.
So Robbie Freiling on strike. Just having a look around.
Just checking his field, Pistorius. That's well bowled.
Going for a little dab down to third man.
Not really the shot required there, but he's under no pressure, so he can take a few calculated risks.
It's well bowled. Very well bowled.
It's good pressure. The last time Chris built up some pressure, he got a wicket.
That's very true. 23 of 22. Get it down to long on just for the single. Keep rotating the strike. A boundary or 2 here would just make the run home very, very easy for the Shofire Lions. Chris is going to have to chase it himself. Think about 2. Decide wisely against it.
Well done by Pistorius there, doing the work off his own bowling. 3 after 16 overs, 21 from 20.
Who's your money in your Briggsy?
You know, cricket's a funny game, but you obviously got to back Shofire Lions at the stage of the game. If I was one of the batting team, Shofire Lions, I would want to make big inroads this over. You don't want to leave it to the last over. You want to get that run rate down to less than a run a ball. But even if they don't, they should be able to coast through to the end. Rebels need wickets, but that's why I say a few boundaries here would just settle their nerves, because you don't want a few wickets to fall and then it's a runner ball. You've got 2 new batsmen at the crease and it's the last over. Then it's can be quite tricky.
So Jason Liebenberg back into the attack. His figures are currently 2 overs, 0 for 13. He does bring a wealth of experience to this Rebels team. As you can see, the wind's starting to pick up. Swing and a miss there by Warren Naidu.
Dot balls are priceless here.
Bats on ball. Every dot's going to add a bit more pressure. So 2 dots.
There's a little bit of rain around. I hope the groundsmen are getting ready to put the covers on, because it is predicted with rain. We've got a lot of cricket here this week. Liebenberg trotting in. Rolled his wrist there a bit.
There's a man out there, so he'll stop him getting 2. So 21 off 18. So it's still more than a run a ball. But there is the wealth of experience that Robbie Freiling brings to this team. Played. It's a dance along on.
Warren's looking for 2, but settles for 1. It's good work in the deep there by Grayling.
So it's looking quite dark out
94.
there. Might have to get the light meets out here, Briggsy.
No, there's plenty of light. Not the orange ball. Very visible in these conditions. As you can see, he's clearly struck that one. And the bloody dog stopped the ball. And thank goodness for that. He's just lucky not to break a leg there.
Did he?
Yeah, but it's just.
So let's look at the replay.
What's the rule if it hits a bird? It's a dead ball.
It's great fielding.
Very good fielding. I'm surprised the dog didn't break a leg there. Little Jack Russell.
It's all happening here. It's unbelievable scenes here in Cape Town at Western Province Cricket Club. Adding to the drama, someone's dog has just stopped a certain boundary.
And the Rebels have sportingly said that would have gone for 4 and given a 4 there, which is good to see. Great spirit there and sportsmanship.
Well done to the Rebels there.
Quiet run rate now, 15 off, 15 balls. And they just pulled it back there.
So Robbie.
The owner of that Jack Russell needs to get it on a leash.
Okay, so Robbie Freilich on strike here. He's 9 off 9.
Oh, if the bowler got a hand on that.
Good running there, putting the field under a bit of pressure. Get back for 2. Ooh, this could have been the little hand that goes onto the wicket, so the run out, never a good way to get out like that.
Rebels will take it anywhere they can. Desperate for a wicket shot.
Straight out to long off, just for a single.
Score is 100 for 3. 3 balls left of the over. Play 5 ball overs in last man stands. Just try to hoik that down the leg side and hasn't got all of it. It's gently rolled to cow corner.
Little dab down to.
I think that's come off the shoulder of the bat there.
Yeah.
A bit more bounce than he was anticipating. Just easy 1 run there for Shofire Lions.
Just well bowled there by Chris Pistorius.
Chris has impressed me. He's bowled really well. That's his 4th over gone. Picked up the 2 wickets, just 14 runs. Fantastic stuff. Going to hold his head up high there. He's a pat on the back from his team. He's kept them in the game. It's not over yet, folks. 103 for 3 after 18.
We head into the last 2 overs.
10 from 10 balls. This is where your nerves can get tested.
Pressure does funny things to people. Is that Liebenberg going to bowl the second last over?
Liebenberg back into the attack, and Freiling is on strike, and just a little bit outside his crease. He's about half a foot outside his crease. He's going to go for a 4 here. No, he's happy to work it. He's happy to work it. He's not going to take any risks. He wants to take his team home. Playing very sensible cricket. Unless he goes out here, Russ.
Yep. So
then he would be ruining not hitting one or two big blusty blows to ease that runner ball situation.
Warren Naidu is 35 of 29 currently. Well, it's a great shot.
There's the release that we were talking about.
Cut it down to backward point for 4. Welcome boundary.
Thick outside edge, but right in the middle of the bat. And
Shofire line sitting just below us here. You can see the relief. It's a big clap for their talisman batter.
it's been a steady at the crease, Warren. And he's just had a big swing and a miss outside off stump, which very lucky not to get an edge there. His team wouldn't be happy if he went out now.
Chipped it over the bowler's head. No. Thought of 2. Wisely decided against it.
Just 4 runs required now. 6 balls left. The rain is starting to come. It's very heavy now. They've got to come off. This is too much. That's the game. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast of the Last Man Stands World Champs. Just seen a big upset. The Rebels losing to Shofire Lions in Pool F. If you want to find out more information, just go to lastmanstands.com, and I'll be signing off. Thanks for joining us.